Hello and welcome to the show. Today I am going to be building another hill climb monster on Forza Horizon 3, but we are leaving our choice of cars up to the Forza gods. No, this Chevelle, I don't even remember getting this Chevelle Horizon Edition, but there we go. Is not the car going up the mountain today, it's just here to, well, what better car to have really at the start of a video. Yeah, we're going to head to the auction house. The 21st car on sale in the auction house right now is going to be my vehicle to use for this video. There are, of course, a couple of rules. If the car has already been run in the series, I'm not going to buy it. If the car is too high a PI, so it starts off in S2 class, I'm not going to buy it. And if it's a Horizon Edition car, I'm not going to buy it either. So, yeah, let's go and search for some vehicles. I'm searching through just everything. Absolutely everything that's on sale at the auction house at the moment is going to be up here. That's an interesting lot to start with, that none of them would be. Well, the Corvette might just about work. Anyway, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So the 20th car on sale right now is a Mustang Boss Horizon Edition. Okay. The next car, I'm going to close my eyes. I can't see what it is. You guys know what it is that I'm going to be driving now. I don't. It is... Oh. Okay. Well, the vehicle for today is a Jaguar F-Type. I didn't expect that, but there we go. We have got our car, a relatively high starting PI on the F-Type. Relatively high starting PI indeed, which is not necessarily great news for me. Now, we should still be able to get all-wheel drive and the snow tyres on the car. They're the important bits we have to run with. Other than that, we'll probably get off-road suspension. I'd like better brakes. I don't know what else we're going to be getting. So, yeah, it's also not the prettiest of colours, I will be honest. It is an interesting one. Right, through my garage of many cars. I don't know what the limit of cars is on Horizon 3, but there we go. Okay, so the car was a base PI of 780. I'm not sure this is going to be amazingly fast. However, I have been wrong before. The last time we had a lucky dip build, it was the Donkavort that at the time went to the top of the table, I think. The Donkavort. So, yeah, these lucky dip cars sometimes do well. Sometimes they do absolutely awfully. Yeah, get rid of the setup. Not that there was anything on it at all. I had a wing, didn't it? So I might have had a couple of upgrades, but there we go. Right. Drivetrain swap. All-wheel drive hasn't taken it out of A-class as of yet, but I know the tyres will. Oh, that's yeah, I was hoping it was only going to be like a couple of grades up tyre, but no, it's the full whack. Okay. Oh, it reckons it does 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds. That's pretty bloody good going. Now, we do start off with 295 tyre, 295 at the rear, 255 at the front. What I might do is I might not change the rear tyre widths. This is the problem. I don't... Actually, no, the rear tyre width don't make any difference to the PI, so bugger it. Yes, we will go for that. We are going to be wanting aero parts, front and rear. We are going to then be wanting these bits and pieces. The good news is we will get suspension, and we will get... We can't get any brakes. There's no brake upgrades at all, so the brakes are as good as they're ever going to be. On the Jaguar, we will get roll cage. It's a bit of weight, but we're going to want it. Now, what we do here is the tough bit. I can get the car down to £3,200, but then that will be all of our PI gone. We could get it down to 3,600 and then try and get it some more power. I think might be the way to go. Get some weight out of it. This is the issue that we always have. You're always going to have with these higher starting PI cars is that you just can't get the power out of them. You just can't get the power out of them necessarily. The Donkavort was an exception, I'll be honest. The Donkavort was an exception in the decent power while being relatively light. The Jaguar, I mean, I can try and find ways to work around it a little bit to try and gain as much power as we can out of it. I don't think Supercharger, we can't get Supercharger upgrade on the car. So we're probably going to be looking at about 600 horsepower at best, I would think, with this Jag. Now, 600 horsepower You know, that's still a decent amount of power. It's still a decent amount of power. The issue is, of course, that there is a lot of car. There is a lot of car. Now, it should be a good handling car. Let's not forget that. But that is still a lot of car to drag up the mountain when we've had cars that have had 800 horsepower weighed 1,000 pounds less. So this Jaguar is going to have to be mighty good. Mighty good through the corners. I mean, the Lamborghini Countach was a bit down on power and a bit heavier and did very well, but that was about 600 pounds lighter with only about 30 less horsepower. So the F-Type, I think, might struggle. I have been wrong about cars before, though. Let's just have a look. Damn it, we can't stick on intercooler. Sometimes you can with these. They add power, but they also add weight. I wonder if... So here's my plan. We add that on and then deduct the weight through, like flywheel, for example. I think overall that might have given us a little bit of an advantage. It's not much, but you've got to kind of try something with a car like this. I think that'll do. That will do for the F-Type. Fingers crossed it'll be okay. Well, here we are at the Devil's Corners hill climb with our Jaguar. I'm going to get 3 runs up the course to try and go as fast as possible. The current leader, a BMW 507 with a 155.9, I think will be way out of reach for this Jag. What I'm aiming for here really is to get under the 2-minute mark. I think it might be able to do it. The XJ220 is currently at 2-minute 0.1, so if we can go quicker than the XJ, then I think we will be doing pretty well. But yeah, I think that is really going to be my goal, and anything faster than that will be a bonus. If this car has got an awful lot of grip, maybe, just maybe, we will be able to make it work around here. But that is a very, very big if. I think even with a lot of grip, we might be able to go relatively quick, but I think we would struggle to really challenge the top of the table. We just don't have the... We don't have the brute power, and that's when we forget about the fact that this car is 1,000 pounds heavier than just about everything. We're 100 or so horsepower, 100, 200 horsepower down on some of the fastest cars that have gone up here and then weigh considerably more. So we would have to be astronomically fast through the corners for it to work. It is pretty good, though, actually. It's better, much like we had with the Mercedes. The Mercedes, the 300 SEL, that was a boat of a car, was actually pretty nice to drive around. It is only 500 pounds lighter than that Mercedes, and it has, what, 400 horsepower less? So, oh, God, that's a little bit of a scrape on the wall. We got away with it fine, though. Yeah, it seems pretty good, actually, in the opening corners. It's not fast on the acceleration front. Can we chuck it into the hairpin, though? We've got to really, if we're going to have any chance of even going remotely quickly up here, this is all going to be about keeping up our momentum, not losing too much speed as we go through the turns, being able to carry as much as possible, because we're just simply not going to be able to accelerate out the other side. I'm being brave there. Now, we should be flat out, I would imagine, relatively easily up here, and indeed we are. Heading on to the icy straight we go. Not the Jaguar's favourite point, and it's not as nice as the Mercedes. Oh, that's going to be the wall. I don't have the grip to do that. It's a scruffy end to, well, it wasn't exactly a great run. Anyway, a little bit of a sighting run. These first runs often will be us hoping for a little bit more grip around that that corner. We brushed the wall. We got the wall a couple of times. Although the good news for F-Type fans is, well, there's a 2-minute 0.2 on a scruffy run. So yeah, sub 2 minutes should be eminently doable. How much more time I can make? Maybe into the 58s, honestly, with a good run. I am thinking. So, on to our second run with the F-Type, but I'm pleasantly surprised with the vehicle's performance. Yeah, it's not going to go to the top of the table, however, it's not quite going to be as far down as I might have initially expected, certainly with a car with this higher starting PI to go. Not a great turn one there, a little too, I'm hugging the inside a little bit too much there, but We've got away with it for now. These hairpins is pretty good around the actual hairpins. Where we're losing time is, of course, this acceleration zone. Now, we're not struggling for wheel spin, which is nice. A few of the really crazy lightweight powerhouses have just been manically sliding around, whereas this, you get out of a corner, puts its power down almost immediately. Can we throw it into this corner with the same sort of vigour that we did with the 300 SEL? Kind of. Through there. It's, yeah, decent speed. What are we achieving, actually, in terms of straight line down here? It's 114 miles an hour. It could be worse, but that's still, what, 15 miles an hour down on some of the quicker cars. We have brushed the wall. That's me just trying to get on the throttle as early as possible. 98 miles an hour. That's 12 miles an hour down on the BMW 507 on that tiny acceleration zone. 12 miles an hour is a big amount. However, I think we are carrying good quarter speed in this Jag. Getting slowed, that's the ticket. I mean, this is the sort of turn that the Jag is going to excel at, where a lot of the crazy cars are struggling for grip. They're sliding about, they're spinning the wheels. The Jaguar spins a tiny bit, but nothing anywhere near as bad as a lot of them have, as we now head on to the icy straight. The F-Type, not a huge fan over here, I'll be honest, and that was pushing my luck as far as you can push it and not end up in a wall. Oh, that was really on the ragged edge. We got the bumps and then the ice and then sort of skirted our way towards the wall. We got away with it, though. It's nice and tight for the penultimate turn, trying to straighten up this last corner. We do make it around there. That's a good run. That, for getting a little bit out of shape on the icy straight, a 58.0. That's a lot quicker than I was expecting. I thought we might just about be able to sneak into the 58s, but that's a really good showing, I think, from the F-Type. Well, could we get it into the 57s? That might be a tall order, but you never know. Well, this is it for the Jaguar. We do not need to find a huge amount of time to get into the 57s, which is not what I was expecting to say when I saw the car that I would be building and driving. However, it is the case. But it's not necessarily going to be easy. That last run was very, very good indeed, and the Jaguar is making all of its time through the corners. And I don't really know where I can go a huge amount faster. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not a slow accelerating car, but when you compare it to the monsters that have got in this series, it is. So we have got to carry quarter speed. We've got to carry quarter speed, maintain momentum. That is the only way that we are going to, well, go any faster, essentially, because we can't accelerate any quicker. And I don't know where I'm going to find that much more time, and it's very easy to fall into the trap of overdriving the car. When you're looking for that bit of time, you try and get on the throttle a little bit too soon, or on the brakes that little bit too late, and that's where you make mistakes, where you end up like that, for example, heading off towards the wall as I try and put that power down. It was very, very quick out of that corner. It was very, very quick indeed. I think the fastest we've been out of there in the Jag. Oh, it's a little bit of a slide. We get this sort of slight on-power understeer going on in the F-Type that is not helpful through some of these corners. While this is a relatively predictable, relatively easy car to drive quickly, it doesn't quite have the turn-in that I would like or expect from the vehicle. But there we go, across the icy straight we head, and bouncing around, and we really do struggle to carry speed off of that icy straight. It's better, I think, this time around, as we're going to get bounced towards the penultimate corner. Get the car slowed down through here, try and straight line the final part as much as we can, but I don't think it's going to be better. Oh, it's very, very close. They were two incredibly consistent runs from the F-Type. It wasn't faster, though. Oh, with an awful lot of practice, a 57 might just about be scrapeable with that car. But, yeah. Well, that is still a very, very good time from the F-Type. It is going to go into 8th place on our table. It beats the BMW 2002 Turbo, the Dodge Charger, Toyota A86, the Datsun 510. You know, the Toyota and the Datsun were 700-800 horsepower in cars that were £1,000 lighter than the Jag, but they didn't have the control of the F-Type. It does, though, lose out to the HDT VK Commodore, the Donkavort, the Countach, the Lancia, etc. We are a couple of seconds down on that leading BMW, but yeah, a good showing, a very good showing, in fact, from the F-Type there. That is probably the heaviest car to go, well, into the top 10, really, I think. Just looking at the other vehicles around, I think it's definitely the heaviest car by a fair little margin. So, and considering it's probably the heaviest car and one of the least powerful, with the exception of the Donkavort, that is a really, really good time from the F-Type. That, though, is going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.